If you haven't listened to some of my earlier episodes on Social Security, specifically episode 4, Collect Social Security Now or Wait, you should go back and listen to that episode. And in that episode, I talk about the benefits of waiting as long as possible for many people to collect Social Security. And the reason being that between your full retirement age and age 70, you earn an 8% credit each year that you wait to collect your benefits, and you also receive any cost of living adjustments during that time.
Are you ready for a successful retirement? We're addressing the topics facing today's retirees. Welcome to Retire with Ryan. Now here's your host, Ryan Morrissey.
Welcome back. This week we're going to talk about divorced Social Security benefits and your options if you are divorced on how to handle Social Security. So if you are currently divorced and you're getting to the point where you're thinking about Social Security, getting close to age 62, or you're already age 62 or older, then you have two options. You can either collect a Social Security benefit off of your own benefit, or you could collect what's known as a spousal benefit off of your divorced spouse. And your spousal benefit off of your divorced spouse is up to a maximum of 50% if you wait to collect this benefit when you reach your own full retirement age. And your full retirement age is based off your year of birth. So if you're born 1954 or earlier, your full retirement age is 66. If you're born in 1955, your full retirement age is 66 and 2 months. If you're born in 1956, your full retirement age is 66 and 4 months. If you're born in 1957, your full retirement age is 66 and 6 months. If you're born in 1958, your full retirement age is 66 and 8 months. If you're born in 1959, your full retirement age is 66 and 10 months. And if you're born 1960 or later, your full retirement age is 67. So if you were married and you're now divorced, there's a number of conditions that you have to meet to be eligible to collect this spousal benefit. And those conditions are: 1, your marriage has to have lasted at least 10 years, and you cannot be currently married. And when you do remarry, now you're eligible off of your new spouse's benefit potentially. Your ex-spouse has to be over the age of 62 and eligible for benefits. What this means is that they must have paid into the Social Security system for the required 10 years. Your divorce must have occurred 2 years prior to when you're applying for Social Security. And if that's the case, then your ex-spouse doesn't need to have filed for their benefits for you to claim this spousal benefit. Your own benefit must not be higher than the spousal benefit. So when you apply for your Social Security benefit, Social Security is going to compare your own benefit and the spousal benefit, and they will pay you the higher of the two. So that if your own benefit is higher than the spousal benefit, then you're usually not eligible for the spousal benefit. You would collect your own benefit. The only exclusion to that would be that if you're born before January 2nd, 1954, you can file what's known as a restricted application, and you can receive the full 50% of your ex-spouse's full retirement benefit until you reach age 70. And then at that point, you could then switch over and collect your own benefit. So if you haven't done this already, if you do the math, right, and you're born before January 2nd, 1954, you'll be turning 68 this year. So for the remaining 2 years, you could collect this 50% of your ex-spouse's benefit and allow your own benefit to grow until age 70. And if you haven't listened to some of my earlier episodes on Social Security, specifically episode 4, Collect Social Security Now or Wait, you should go back and listen to that episode. And in that episode, I talk about the benefits of waiting as long as possible for many people to collect Social Security. And the reason being that between your full retirement age and age 70, you earn an 8% credit each year that you wait to collect your benefits. And you also receive any cost of living adjustments during that time. So if you're still working right now and you're 67 and you're divorced, and your plan is to work until 70 and you want to maximize what you can get from Social Security, that's definitely a good strategy. But if you're born before January 2nd, 1954, for the next 2.5 years, you could also collect your ex-spouse's benefit, 50% of their benefit, which if they have a good work history, this could be $1,000 or more per month that you could be able to receive. However, if you're born after January 2nd, 1954, you will not be able to take advantage of this restricted application. In that case, when you apply, you will be able to collect the higher of the two benefits. You won't be able to choose which benefit you receive, unfortunately. So this was changed in the Budget Act of 2015, and this is being phased out. And once the people that are eligible, get past age 70, then no one will be able to do this anymore. And additionally, benefits for ex-spouses and other ex-spouses, or their new spouse, I should say, are not affected. So if your ex-spouse did remarry, if you collect your spousal benefit off of their benefit, that's not going to impact your ex-spouse's benefit or, their new spouse's benefit. So you don't have to worry about that. And then normally with spousal benefits, if you're currently married and one spouse is collecting their benefit, then the other spouse would be able to collect the spousal benefit, that full 50% benefit. You can't both do that. However, when you're divorced, that actually is possible. So if you're divorced and you're on good terms with your spouse and you're both born before January 2nd, 1954, then you could both, and neither of you have collected Social Security yet, then you could both collect the spousal benefit off each other's record. This is just an odd situation where two divorced people could actually potentially collect more from the Social Security system than a married couple. So putting this all together, what are strategies if you are divorced on how you can get the most from Social Security? Well, it definitely depends upon your age and your ex-spouse's age, as well as the benefit that you're currently eligible for from Social Security at full retirement, as well as your ex-spouse's benefit at full retirement, and also whether or not you're born before January 2nd, 1954. So let's look at a few different strategies. So strategy one would be where you're born before January 2nd, 1954, and you're able to file the restricted application. If this is the case for you and you haven't yet collected Social Security, then the optimal strategy is probably for you to file the restricted application, receive the full 50% of your ex-spouse's benefit for the next couple years, and then at age 70, contact Social Security and then switch over to your own benefit. So let's talk about an example. We have John and Sue, and they were married for over 10 years, and they're now divorced. And their divorce occurred over 2 years ago, and they're both currently unmarried. And let's just say John is 67, and his full retirement benefit is $2,400 a month. And Sue is 67 also, and her full retirement benefit is $1,800 a month. And because Sue is over full retirement age and she's born before 1954, she can file the restricted application. So she's eligible to get half of John's benefit, half of that $2,400, which is $1,200 a month. So she can receive that for the next couple years. And then at age 70, she'll let her own benefit delay. That $1,800 will grow at 8% for the next 2 years. And just assuming that 8% per year for the next 2 years, that $1,800 will now be $2,088 when she turns 70. So she's getting that extra $1,200 a month for the next couple years by being able to take advantage of this restricted application. But again, if you're not born before January 2nd, 1954, then this example strategy is not going to work for you. Now, the next strategy would be collecting your benefits early. And I mentioned at the beginning of the episode that you can collect a spousal benefit as early as age 62, just like you could collect a married spousal benefit. However, anytime you collect a spousal benefit early, that benefit is permanently reduced. And the percentage of the reduction is based upon your full retirement age. And if your full retirement age is age 66, then at 62, you could receive 35% of the full retirement benefit, not the full 50%. And then if your retirement age is 67, then you'd only receive 32.5%. So each year that you delay this spousal benefit up until your full retirement age, between 66 and 67, it's going up until it reaches that full 50%. And then the other thing you have to think about is anytime you collect a Social Security benefit before your retirement age, which is considered early, before age 60, 67, there's a limit to how much you can earn each year and be able to collect your full benefit. So if you're collecting between 62 up until the year that you hit your full retirement, you're limited to earning a certain amount each year. And this year, that's $18,960. If you earn over that amount, then your benefit is reduced $1 for every $2 that you earn over that limit. So it doesn't take a whole lot of earnings to see most of your benefit go away. However, in the year you reach full retirement, in that year, you can actually earn up to $50,520. And then every dollar you earn over that amount, your benefit's reduced $3 for every $1 over. And then in the month that you reach full retirement, there is no earnings limit. But that being said, let's just look at a couple examples of how this might work and how this reduction might happen. So we'll look at an example for Joan. And Joan is 62 and her full retirement age is 67. She has her own work history and her full retirement benefit would be $800 a month at age 67. And her ex-husband is eligible for $3,000 a month at his full retirement. So if she decides to collect her benefit now, because Joan was born after January 2nd, 1954, she will not be eligible to file a restricted application, and she will get 70% of her own benefit, which is $560, plus 65% of the difference between her full retirement benefit and her husband's full retirement benefit. So essentially, you take his full retirement benefit, divide it by 2, which is $3,000 divided by 2, that gives you $1,500, minus her full retirement benefit of $800, which gives $700 times 0.65%, which is $455 additional. So she would receive $1,015 a month, which is 70% of her own benefit, $560 plus $455 from her ex-spouse's benefit. And if she's still working, again, she has to worry about whether she's going to earn over that amount and she'll actually receive any of this money. And if she actually waited to file that benefit until 67, if she waited until her full retirement to collect that, she would get the full 50%. So she'd get half of his $3,000 benefit or $1,500, and that would be a permanent amount that she'd have for the rest of her life. We'll talk about one more example. We have Sharon, who's 64, and her full retirement age is 67. She has her own benefit of $1,800 at full retirement, but her ex-husband, Jim's benefit is $3,000. So she could file for her own benefit now, but she would have a permanent reduction. She would get 80% of her $1,800 benefit. So she'd get $1,440 a month because her full retirement benefit is more than half of her ex-spouse's. So in this case, if your benefit is more than half of your ex-spouse's, then you're not going to receive any of your ex-spouse's spousal benefit. So I know this can be confusing, spousal benefits, if you're divorced, but you do want to investigate this, especially if you're born before January 2nd, 1954. You definitely want to take action soon. And if you have not been aware of this, Social Security will pay you back up to 6 months of your benefit. So you can get back some money that you may have lost, and then you can then continue getting this amount and then switch over at age 70 to your own benefit. As far as action steps from this episode, if you haven't downloaded your Social Security statement or you haven't received one in a while, then I would go to the Social Security website, ssa.gov. Then from there on the homepage, you see sign up, sign in. You'd click on that. Then you'd click on My Social Security and you'd set up an account so that you can go in and you can download your statement. So that's step one. Step two, if you still have a good relationship with your ex-spouse, you could ask them for a copy of their Social Security statement so that you could compare the options available to you. If you don't have a good relationship with your ex-spouse, then I would suggest reaching out to the Social Security Administration, and you can then provide them some information and they can look up your ex-spouse's work history to be able to tell you what you're eligible for. So once you've got that information, then you'll be better equipped to make a decision about how to handle your benefits. And as I said before, I have some previous episodes on Social Security. Definitely go back and listen to episode 4, which is Collect Social Security Now or Wait. And you can also listen to episode 38, How to Apply for Social Security Benefits. So I hope this has been helpful. And if you're enjoying these podcasts, please subscribe through Apple Podcasts. And if you're not sure how to do that, take out your iPhone. Then you're going to look for a little purple app that says podcasts. And you'll open that up, then go down on the right, there's a little search button, and you'll type in Retire with Ryan. Then you'll see my podcast come up. You'll then click on it. And then over to the right, you'll see a purple button with 3 white dots. You'll click on that, and then you'll see an option for subscribe. Have a great week, and I look forward to talking to you next Wednesday.
You should consult a financial advisor familiar with your specific circumstances before you make any financial decisions. Nothing in this broadcast constitutes a solicitation for the sale or purchase of any securities. Any mention of rates of return are historical or hypothetical in nature and are not a guarantee of future returns. Ryan Morrissey, CFP, is an investment advisor representative of Morrissey Wealth Management, LLC, a registered investment advisor.